What is going on, everybody? Nick Alberici here, back with Week 14 NFL picks and predictions. Another week back here, and another interesting week last week, believe it or not. So I went 9-7 last week. My overall record is 129-66 now. But the weird thing about that was I lost all of the Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game. I wasn't right on one of them, which is crazy because like that's never happened. I've never been like so incorrect on like especially Thanksgiving games before. But yeah, I mean it was an interesting week of games. The Vikings got their ass kicked again. I mean, there's nothing you could do, and you're playing with a UDFA in Seattle in that hostile environment. Nothing you can do, man. I mean, we're 4-8 and smell that top 10 pick in the horizon. But I'm gonna try to make this fast. I gotta be somewhere in about. Gotta leave here in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I gotta be somewhere, so I want to make this fast this week. And here we go. So we start with Thursday night football on Thursday night, 2 nights away. Cowboys at Lions. Detroit is 3, over-unders 54.5. This has the makings of a good Thursday night game, even though the Lions are banged up. I just think this game, it's going to be one of those games where both teams score a lot because both defenses aren't great. But I still will take the Lions because, to me, the Cowboys don't thread the needle for me. They still don't do it. Their defense is, to me, is still so-so, and their offense is good, but it's not as good as it should be. But I'll take the Lions here, 30-27. They'll cover that 3. They'll just win by 3. Even though they're banged up, I just like the Lions better as a team. And then, by the way, the buys this week are Patriots, Giants, 49ers, and Panthers, and after that, there was no more buys. All right, on to Sunday, we have the Seahawks at the Falcons. Seattle is 7, over-unders 43.5. We have a little Cousins Darnold, former Vikings quarterback battle going on here. Who's the better man or standing up? But it's going to be Seattle. Cousins, I think he's going to struggle against his defense. I just think Seattle's defense is why they're so good. Their offense, we held it in check last week. Like, they didn't really do much. Like, I think Smith and Jigba only had a couple catches. Darnold, our defense looked good against them, but their defense is the main reason why they're 9-3. So I'll take the Seahawks to win here. I'll say 27-10. I think Seattle puts a pretty good beating on them. If Atlanta was fully healthy, I would be putting maybe a 1-score game to this. But I think Seattle puts a beating on them. Then we have the Bengals at the Bills. This game probably might be the game of the week, probably. Maybe one of them. Just because it's Burrow versus Allen. Buffalo's 5.5, over-under 52.5. I'll definitely take the Bills here because not only because they're home, but I think they know they have to win these games. And Josh Allen against that Bengals defense, that might be a 45-point fantasy day. Burrow might have a good game too if you have Burrow, against that Bills day. So both teams coming off wins. I'll just take the Bills because they're home and they know they have to win. So it just is one of those scenarios. This is one of those games you don't know what the score prediction is going to be. So what do? You don't go to you don't resort to 27-24 final. In this game you resort to 34-31. So that's what I do. Usually, like I said last week, games I say 27-24 if you have no idea what the score is going to be. But when there's two high-powered offensive teams like this, you say 34-31. So 34-31 Bills. Then this game, these 3 games I'm just going to blow past. Titans at Browns. Cleveland's 4.5, over under 33.5. Yeah, I mean, both these teams are lost causes. I'll take the Browns to win, though, because they're home, and Tennessee can't do anything right. They legit can't do anything right. So I'll take the Browns here. I'm going to say 17-12, like a weird score. Cleveland's day, they'll take over this game. Yeah, not much more I have to say, but I can't remember the last time the Browns were that heavy favorites in the game. But Browns win. And then we got the Dolphins at the Jets. Miami's 2.5, over-under's 40.5. Yeah, I mean, this is another game right here. It's weird to predict, but I'm going to go upset special here. I'm going to take the Jets. They looked pretty good last week. Miami, they're only favorite because they have more wins. But I'm going to take the Jets. You got to do some upsets. I think the Jets being home, back-to-back weeks. Miami, division game. I'm just not sold on Tua at all. Everybody knows that. I'm not a fan of him. I just think the Jets, this is one of those games where Tyrod, he throws all over Miami secondary. Yeah, the over-under's low, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets put some points up here. So I'll say Jets win. I'm going to say Jets win 24-20. I'll still say 24-20, but I won't be surprised if they score more than that. But yeah, I'm going to take the Jets in the upset. Then we got the Commanders at the Vikings. This game coming into the year was supposed to be maybe the game. This would probably be the game of the week. Daniels, how hot Washington was. But now it's just whoever loses is going to get a better draft pick. Whoever wins for pride. Vikings are 1.5. Over-under's 41.5. We're only favorite because I guess Washington's worse. Daniels is probably not going to play. If Daniels is playing, I'd 100% pick Washington. Like, this would be a no-brainer. Originally, coming into this week, I had the Commanders, but I flipped it back. The Vikings can't lose all these games. They can't lose this. They can't lose another one at home. They can't lose to Marcus Mariota. They just can't. Like, McCarthy's back. They gotta find rhythm. They gotta do stuff. This defense stinks for Washington, and the Vikings' defense is way better. And it's gonna make Mariota's day be hell. So I originally had the Commanders, and I'll flip back to it if Daniels plays, but I don't think he is. So I'm gonna say Vikings win, but it's another close nail biter. I'm gonna say 21-16. I'm just tired of losing. I want a better draft pick, but I'm tired of losing. So it's a win-win situation here. It's just a mess. I can't really explain what this year was for Vikings fans, but luckily next year, again, last place schedule, all that shit. So, yeah. And then we got the Saints at the Bucks. This is probably actually my lock of the week here. Tampa at home. Tampa wins. I'm going to say Tampa wins this game like 34-17. This is the lock of the week, the get healthy game for Tampa. And, get the lock of the week, get healthy game for Tampa, meaning they're going to win by a lot. They're not going to win by 3 like they did to Arizona. So it's like a double parlay here. They're going to win by two or more scores, and it's the lock of the week. Yeah, the Saints just have nothing. And then we got the Colts at the Jaguars. Indy's 1.5, over-under's 48.5. I got another upset here. I think the Jaguars win this game. Although I think the Colts are the much better team, I'm going to take the Jags because the Indy never has success in Jacksonville. That's just the one thing that like it's a common thing in the NFL. The Jags and the Colts, they usually split, but the Colts hardly ever win in Jacksonville. And, they're both 8-4. So it's like you can't sit here and say, like, Jags are the way worse team. They're both 8-4. Division game at home, Jacksonville. I think they're going to come out with a fire on their asses this game and win 24-21. Maybe a Cam Little game-winning field goal. I mean, the Colts haven't looked right. I know they played KC's defense, who's pretty decent, and then they played Houston's D, who's top 3 in the league right now. But still, I just think this is one of those games. And then we got the last 1 o'clock game, Steelers at Ravens. Baltimore 6, over-under's 43.5. Adam Thielen, it's another thing. Vikings waived him. So he's a Steeler now, just got announced today. Maybe that'll give Pittsburgh maybe a little bit more versatility at receiver because other than Metcalf, nobody else fears you. Maybe Thielen goes there and he looks good. What a disaster that was for the Vikings to bring him back. 4th and 5th round pick, but at least I look at it this way. He was back. It was cool. And he's going to retire at the end of this year as a Viking, so big deal. But Ravens win. I think the Ravens win this game by 10. I'm going to say 27-17. Pitt, to me, just doesn't do anything. Like, they're not even going to make the playoffs. So, give me the Ravens. 4 o'clock window, we got the Broncos at the Raiders. Denver 7.5. Over-unders 40.5. Last week that was a good Sunday night game, but Denver should have never made it that close. I don't understand, like, a defense that good, like, let Washington stay in the game. Like, you know what that is? It's the offense. The offense isn't good enough. I just saw a thing the other day. They're saying they're the most fake 10-2 team of all time. So before that was the Vikings, the 2022 Vikings. Now the Broncos took the reins of that. Look at a lot of their games. They won by 2 against the Jets. They won by a point against the 3 against the Raiders, a point against the Giants, a point last game. They're not threading the needle for you. Like, New England, people say they're not good either, but at least New England, they blew out the Giants. Denver had to come back and beat them. You know what I mean? So it just, Denver doesn't thread the needle for you. I mean, they're benefiting from an easy schedule. There's another game right here that they'll win. I mean, the Raiders are horrible. So Broncos win this game. If the Broncos don't win this game if they don't win this game by more than 8 points, they have to look themselves in the mirror and say, yeah, we have no shot at getting past the second round. So they might win one playoff game because they might play a 7 seed, but it's the second game they'll get humbled. Not hating, but it's just the truth. So Broncos win. I want to say a 10-point win. I'll give them a 10-point win. I'll say 31-21. Raiders might put up a couple points here because it's a division game. And the Raiders' defense is just so bad. Denver should be able to score on them. So 31-21 Denver. Then we got the Bears at the Packers. Green Bay 6.5. Over-under 44.5. Supposed to be in the teens. I think the Packers win this game. I think the Bears' luck finally runs out. These teams might split. Bears might get them in Green and Chicago, but the Packers win here at home. I say Green Bay wins 24-17. I just think the Bears' luck runs out. Like, they got a great win against Philly last week. It was a good game. But I think division game, going to this environment in cold Lambeau, I think it's going to be too much for them. Packers win. And then we got the Rams at the Cardinals. Rams are 7.5. Over-under is 48.5. This is another game right here. The Rams, they're going to be hungry. I mean, last week, I don't know how they lost to the Panthers like that. I guess it was raining. It's a different environment. The Rams are an indoor team. And the Panthers always play better at home. That's another thing. But this game right here, the Rams will bounce back. They'll get healthy. Stafford might throw for 4 touchdowns. Arizona just stinks. Stafford might throw for 3-4 touchdowns. Puka might catch 2. Devontae Adams might catch 1 or 2. So Rams win. The Cardinals, they're another team. Rams win this game 31-17. Then we got Sunday Night Football. I got the Texans at the Chiefs. KC's 3.5. Over-under 41.5. This is a game where I debated back and forth. Like, I was sitting there saying, who do I go? I'll stick with Kansas City because they need to win. And Houston on the road. If this was in Houston, I think I'd take Houston. But it's in KC. That outside weather, I think that's KC written all over it. They had more time to prepare. So I'll take Kansas City here in a low-scoring battle. I'm going to say 20-16 Chiefs. Both of these offenses don't score enough. For how good Mahomes is, like, they just don't score. They don't move the ball, Kansas City. I don't know what it is. Their running game is mid. Their receivers are so-so. Rashee Rice is great. He's solid, but Worthy's been had a down year. Kelsey's older, so that's why not everything's falling into place for them. But I'll take Kansas City because they're home, and it's just because they're home, but like they still have a better team than the Texans. Then we got Monday Night Football. I got the Eagles at the Chargers. Eagles are 3. Over-under is 40.5. This should be a good Monday night game. Herbert, I think, will play. I'm going to base this off he plays. If he doesn't play, the Eagles will definitely win. I mean, Trey Lance is god-awful. But I'm going to base this off he plays. So I'm going to say Herbert plays. And I'm going to go Chargers. I just think the Chargers offense will just outscore the Eagles. I mean, the offensive coordinator, he sucks. I mean, and I think Sirianni's even worse if you gave him the play calling. That's why they haven't changed the play calling over yet. Um, yeah, I just think the Chargers offense will just outscore them. You know, they're home, a cross country game for the Eagles. Um, the Eagles, man, they're just frauds. Like I think they're lucky to get out of the wild card round this year because I think the Rams will get the 1 seed, but they're lucky to get out of the wild card round this year. So I'll take the Chargers at home. I'll say 27-21. 1-score game, good ending, but I just Chargers being home. But if Herbert doesn't play, the Eagles will win. So if the Eagles get a bailout and Lance plays, so bad. But if Herbert plays full strength teams, Chargers win this game. So I got 3 upsets this week. Trying to make this a quicker video. It's gonna get over like 6-7 minutes, really. Oh no, I use 6-7. It's gonna get over a couple minutes earlier than usual. I mean, not because I have to be somewhere, but I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. Not sit here and break down every game for 4 minutes a game. So, so I'll have this video out later. Hope everybody enjoys the week. We have 4 more regular season weeks after today. I mean, hey, I'm happy it's almost over because the Vikings. But other than that, I still like football. But so I'll see you guys next week. I'll have special guests on real soon. So probably week 16 I'll have people on, and that'll be the last week of regular season guests. So look forward to that, week 16. I'll see you back here next week by myself. And as always, love my team, Skol Vikes. All right, guys. See you next week.